Welcome to The Explainer. You know, for years, Egypt and Turkey were serious regional rivals. But today? Well, today, they're forging a military alliance that could literally redraw the map of the Middle East. We're talking about a partnership that's moving way faster and going way deeper than anyone ever expected.
All right, to really get what's happening, let's zoom in on one single event. It was highly unusual, and it absolutely set the intelligence communities buzzing. It was the first big clue that a massive strategic shift was underway.
So take a look at this photo. That's Turkey's top Air Force general at Cairo West Air Base. Now, this might look like a standard courtesy call, but trust me, it is so much more than that. This was a deliberate and really powerful signal. And to get why, you have to understand that foreign commanders almost never get to see this base. Yeah, here's what makes this such a huge deal. Cairo West is where Egypt keeps its crown jewels, all its most advanced American-made military hardware. Access is so restricted, it's basically off-limits to everyone, except, sometimes, the U.S. military. So by giving Turkey's top general a personal tour, Egypt is making this incredible show of trust. It hints at a level of cooperation that is just completely unprecedented. But this visit, it wasn't just symbolic, not at all. It was basically the public announcement of a massive, and until then, pretty secret military project. And we're talking about something that goes way beyond just buying and selling a few weapons. And get this, the technical teams from Turkey and Egypt were given just 90 days, that's only 3 months, to finalize the plans for joint weapons production. Now, in the world of military procurement, that timeline it's shockingly aggressive. It really shows you how serious both sides are about making this happen and making it happen right now. So what's the centerpiece of this whole deal? It's breathtaking, actually. Egypt is going to get the technology to co-produce the Anka-3. This isn't just any drone. It's a 5th-generation stealth combat drone. That means it's got incredibly advanced electronics, and it's built to be almost invisible to radar. And here's the kicker. It's so new, it hasn't even entered mass production for Turkey's own military yet. Egypt is literally getting in on the ground floor of next-generation warfare. And just look at the capabilities here. I mean, this is not some simple surveillance drone we're talking about. This is a stealthy, jet-powered platform that can carry over 7 tons of bombs and missiles deep into enemy airspace completely undetected. This is a true strategic weapon, plain and simple. Now, to really put this into perspective, the only other countries on the planet that are producing this class of drone are the United States and China, and they absolutely refuse to sell this kind of technology, not even to their closest allies. So through this partnership, Egypt is basically bypassing all those restrictions. It's acquiring a capability it could never, ever get from the West. Of course, a drone is only as good as the weapons it carries, right? So to make the Anka-3 truly lethal, they're also going to co-produce the Tolun-S smart munition. Military analysts are calling this thing a potential game changer. And here's why. It's incredibly accurate, but it's also incredibly affordable. This means you can launch what are called saturation strikes, basically overwhelming a target with a huge number of bombs, which before was just way too expensive to even consider. Okay, so let's move on, because this partnership is building into something so much bigger. It's not just about air power. What we're seeing is the creation of a comprehensive military alliance. The agreement also extends to the sea. Egypt's most advanced warships, the Frem and Meko 200 frigates, are set to be upgraded with cutting-edge Turkish combat systems and sensors. They're also building a joint facility right there in Egypt for testing and developing future weapons. Let's be really clear about what this means. They are building a shared military-industrial complex from the ground up. So, you might be wondering, where are we seeing the first real-world test of this new axis? Well, we don't have to wait. It is already happening. Right now, in the Horn of Africa. Over in Somalia, we're seeing their combined power unleashed. Egyptian troops are on the ground. They're being supported by Turkish tanks and naval ships arriving in Mogadishu. And at the same time, if you look at flight trackers, you can see a constant air bridge of military cargo planes flying from Turkey. This isn't some training exercise. This is a live, joint mission to secure their strategic interests and push back against Ethiopia's ambitions for sea access. And that brings us to the final and most crucial point. What does this powerful new axis actually mean for the regional balance of power? Well, the implications are just enormous.
Just think about this for a second. For decades, Israel has maintained pretty much uncontested air superiority across the region. A fleet of Egyptian-built stealth drones completely changes that calculation. This new alliance creates a truly formidable military bloc that could act independently of Western influence. It could even pull a giant like Saudi Arabia into its orbit, and it forces Turkey to fully align with Egypt's goals.
And you can bet this massive shift isn't going unnoticed. In a closed-door security hearing, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu reportedly expressed his alarm, stating that, quote, the capabilities of the Egyptian army are expanding dramatically. Now, when a leader like that says something like that, you know the game has truly changed. So the takeaway here is clear. This partnership is so much more than a simple arms deal. It's a calculated, lightning-fast move to forge a new regional order, one that's independent of the old superpowers. And it leaves all of us with one really big question. What are they going to do with this power next?